I could go into pretty heavy detail on it. And, it was probably one of the, goes without saying, toughest times in my life. And but again, as I pointed out earlier, this thing of being a crybaby and or talking about it, I just I have to say to myself, uh, what do I gain by elaborating on it? Really, it was a setback. Other people have had longer time in one of those places, and I have been through much more bitter experiences. And I'm not one today to say, "Oh, please, I hope you understand what I was going through." The thing that gets me, I must tell you this. Maybe this sounds like a major cop out, but if it is, then it's my cop out. I could go in and tell you the truth of 8 long months in the farm, funny farm, as they put it. It's far from funny. But when people say to me today, and I've had several things happen to me, major things, aside from that, people say, "How are you?" Well, I'm out. I don't understand. You have to be in to appreciate that. Where were you? You wouldn't want to know. Made little purses, little belts and things. Is this a prison? Close, close. But it's better, to just leave it at that. The thing was that I can tell you this: when I came out of '61, I went in '62. I got out. Um, April, April 1st. I wasn't home for about a couple of hours. This is back in Mamaroneck, New York. Telephone call from Stanley Kramer, producer director of the movie Mad World and other movies. "Jonathan, I'd like for you to be a big part of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. You play a truck driver." I guess what I'd been through, I thought I'd heard some few voices along the way, and some strange things had happened to me, and therefore, even though I'd been released and I'm out and I'd done my stretch, am I confused? Am I listening? Is this really Stanley Kramer? And I turned to my wife, who was sitting right there in a kind of a cubicle in her home, in the kitchen, and I said, "This is Stanley Kramer, producer, director, Big Picture, at Spencer Tracy and Burl and Mickey Rooney and Hackett and Jim Backus and Andy Devine, on and on. He wants me to do one of the leads in this thing." And I turned to my wife and I said, I just don't think I'm capable of doing lines. I just don't think I'm up to it. I'm not out long enough. I got to get back in here in this house and these children and society, and a lot of people are going to ask, "How was it, and where were you, and what did you do, and are you really kooky?" And I'm thinking, I don't know. Is he still on the line, John? Yeah. You'd better take it, because you'll never work again if you don't take it. Oh, that turned me around. "Stanley, we're on our way out. When do you want to see us? Pack up and come on out here." So I went out. Now, the various kinds of medication of Prozac and whatever label, the time I was in the hospital, they wouldn't give me a label, which is interesting. You'd think you'd get at least that in a state hospital. This is a private hospital. They gave it. They said, "Well, that'll only upset you." They gave me nothing. And when I got out, got some extra help and this and that, and was finally manic depressive. And a guy said today, "Well, it's not only that, you're bipolar." And I said, "Well, I haven't been to the Arctic." "No, no, you don't get it." "Oh, get it." Um, I think there are a lot of people that are bipolar. The manics, that you're up high and then you crash or something. Um, Interesting thing was, there was no lithium in those days, Prozac, and for that picture that I was on 6 months, I didn't have any medication, and I wasn't seeing anybody. It was just sheer guts and moving in there and doing the thing and getting into the film and acting. Oh, it was great. I was just on a natural high. I think, having been released from a hospital to come out and do this. And then I talked to Stanley after the picture. We became very good friends, very dear friends. I never worked for him again, but I worked for him as a man and defending him and his pictures and his causes and the fact that we were just dear friends. And I miss him. There isn't a day goes by that I don't think about him because he was quite a guy. Yeah, more people talk about that gas station. The guys that are, many of them are gone today, not just actors, but a lot of the stunt guys, and Bear Hudkins was a guy that did my stunts. The station was rigged so that everything was on timers, and there was one take. They did it all in one take, the whole thing. My breaking away with the hardware tape, fighting the tires. The interesting thing was, they before we did the gas station, Marvin Worth and Arnold Stang, Arnold went home for a couple of weeks prior to our shooting the station. Before he left Hollywood or Beverly Hills, he slipped in the pool or something aside and broke his arm. So when we came down to the desert to shoot the film, there's a plaster cast all the way up to here. And I had to hit him with these tires and, and I was so aware of his arm. I didn't want to hurt this guy, kind of a frail little guy anyway. But by God, he gave it his all, and it never showed on film. But that was one thing. And then breaking away, it was, I guess, whatever aggression one has, or you think about the times that you were, doing some time other than the desert. It was a great time to be a madman and a crazy guy and get paid for it. So I just became this guy, and it worked.